Hey everybody, this is Charlie, the Pennsylvania grain farmer, coming to you from sunny and hot, as in like 93 degrees hot, western Pennsylvania. This is just going to be a short video, and by the way, it's Saturday, July the 13th. But the last video that I put up, which was almost a week ago, had to do with, it was part one of the history of the tractors on the farm, and I put that video up. I filmed part two the same day. I just haven't put it up yet, but you know, I had some people that were you know, definitely interested in my old Farmall C, and I do like to get it out. I do like to get it out and run it. And this was a good time because, as you may recall from other videos, it sits way in the back of the red shed, since I really don't, you know, have much use for it anymore. But I had the baler out since I baled my second cut hay yesterday over at Corey's, and so I haven't. I'm just ready to back it back in the barn, but it leaves this tractor wide open. So I thought, well, you know, I like to run it a couple times a year, so this would be a good time for me to take it out. Now, it has an 8-volt battery in it. It's a 6-volt system, but an 8-volt battery will crank it a little bit. But the battery has a couple years on it, and although it wasn't dead, it was a little weak, and I had to charge it a little bit, and then put my charger on, I think it was 160 amp boost, so that it would spin it fast enough to start it up. But it did start right up, and it's running good. I don't know if you can see it down here, but the battery's charging. And I thought I'd just get it out here for a spin. But this is the tractor that I learned to drive on when I was about 5. And I've told you before about the block of wood down on the clutch, and right there it is. My dad wired, that was a piece of 2x4 my dad wired on there so that I could reach that clutch as a kid, and so it's been on there over 60 years, and I have no intentions of taking it off. You can see that this tractor has cultivators on it. That's really the last major job this tractor had. I used to rake hay with it, but I could rake a little bit faster with the 77, and now I rake either with that or the 66 because they can do it a little quicker. But you know, towards the end, the main thing I did with this was cultivate corn, and I also, you know, used to plant potatoes, and I would use this tractor. I'd have to get somebody to help me, but I would use this tractor to pull the potato plow that I had, which was really just a 1-furrow plow like they used to use. And you know, I'd plow the furrow, plant the potatoes, and then I would take this tractor and use 1 row and go down that plowed furrow and cover the whole thing back up. So I spent, believe me, in the cultivating that I did, you know, I spent many hours and many days on this tractor, especially when the corn was a little bigger. I was usually in 3rd gear and you know, moving along pretty well. But and I used to love doing that. But the problem is, with the herbicides that I have today, and with the amount that I'm doing, it's really, at the time it needs to be done, it's just not practical to do, because that's also about the time that I'm, you know, usually trying to take off first cut hay. So you know, I haven't cultivated corn probably in about 7 years, probably since about the time that I retired from my off-the-job farm. And I'm going to leave that up at more than an idle, just because I want to keep that battery charging. But I may need to get a new battery. but maybe we'll do a quick walk around here. This tractor did have a belt pulley. I don't ever remember using this one on the belt. There's a big chip out of it here. When I was a kid, we did use the belt pulley on our Oliver 77. We used that to run the insulage cutter, which was a tool that was used before forage harvesters, which chopped up full stalks of corn and blew it into the silo all at the same time. You'd cut the sheaves with a binder, put them on the wagon, and then throw them into this insulage cutter. We used the 77 for that. We also used the 77 and the belt pulley whenever we had before we had a grinder mixer, when we had just a hammer mill up on the barn floor, and that's what we used to grind feed. One thing I had to replace this toolbox, which is what the seat mounts to, and then the whole affair mounts onto this platform. One of the last years that I was cultivating corn, I was on a little bit of a hillside, and that whole assembly came off because the whole bottom had rusted away basically the whole way around. So I was able to get a brand new replacement toolbox, and it fits pretty well. As you can see, my dad cut the axles off because we used to use this tractor to pull an old truck bed, which we used as a silage cart, and we would back or pull that into the barn each night, the dairy barn, in order to feed silage to the cows. And that floor where we backed it into wasn't that much wider than the tractor, and so we had to cut these off to keep them from hitting the wall. And you can see this tractor's definitely in its work clothes. It hasn't been restored. I mean, we had it overhauled, I believe, twice before my dad passed away in 1989. And the last time we had it, rebuilt, we also had it painted. But I'll bet you that was back in the 70s. So definitely in its work clothes. I had told you about running this tractor into when I first time I drove, about not knowing how to stop and running the tractor right into the back of the hay wagon that I was following. And this is what I was talking about down here. I don't know how much you can see it, but that part was it's still kind of caved in right here. My dad at some point pounded it out as best he could, and then just left it alone. But I'm responsible for that battle scar. And you can see this tractor does have front weights. Okay, well, as you can see, I'm back in the red shed. I brought the Farmall C back and put it back in its place. It was well warmed up and everything got re-lubricated again, and it should be good for a while. I'm probably going to drain the gas out of it and put siphon it out and put fresh gas in it, because it's been a while since I've done that, and I don't want that gas to get real old. But it really felt good for me to drive that tractor today. Everything is just, even though I only drive it a couple times a year now, everything just feels so familiar. Remember exactly where the gears are, and how everything works. And it's just funny how muscle memory works on each different tractor that you get used to, even though the controls may be different. And especially on an international, the controls are very different than they are on a Oliver. It's funny how your body remembers, and you just do things automatically. So I wanted to add this little piece at the end, because when I was doing the video, for some reason I was using my phone because I was afraid it was going to be too hot for my camera, and I was showing you the front wheel weights on the tractor when the camera quit recording, and I didn't realize it. So I just wanted to wrap up the video by saying that you know, I love that little Farmall C. It's been here on the farm longer than I have, since it's been here since 1950, and that predates me by a good many years. So um, that's one tractor that I would never get rid of, even though I am, you know, a dyed-in-the-wool Oliver man. So in any case, I hope you enjoyed this video. Um, just a little walk around and a little story time. If you did, I hope you'll hit the like button and subscribe if you already haven't. And if you have subscribed, I appreciate that very much. And I hope that you'll leave me a comment or ask a question. I enjoy them very much, and I do try to respond to each and every one. And so for now, this is Charlie, the Pennsylvania grain farmer, saying, see you next time.